For this lesson, we're going to be making the guide plate in AutoCAD. So the first thing you're going to want to do is look at the dimensions of the object. Make sure you see that we have some holes in the center and the overall shape. So we're going to go ahead and create a new drawing. So click on Start Drawing. And then I'm essentially going to be following the method that the textbooks use. So first thing we're going to do is make sure that you have your show menu bar. And then let's go ahead and select the line tool. And once you have the line tool selected, go ahead and type in 0, 0. I always tend to start there. It's just much easier than to make shapes to it. Now, all I need to do is point my mouse in the direction that I want to go and type in the number. So I'm going to type in 6.5 as I move my mouse straight up and down so it's vertical. And then I'll go ahead and push Enter. It's really important you push Enter. And then what I'll do is I'll move my mouse to the right, and it's automatically going to want to snap on that 90-degree angle there. So then go ahead and we're going to put that dimension in, which is also 6.5, and push Enter. Now, if you look at the drawing, there's an angle there, but it's actually much easier just to work around it and then use the default angle. So I'm going to zoom in here. And it's also really important that while you're working that you dimension, because this way you know very quickly if you have something that's wrong. So I'm going to verify this is 6.5, and I'm actually trying to do it in the same way that our textbook has it in terms of the layout, so 6.5. And we're not going to worry about the tenths, hundredths, and all that at this point. All right, so 6.5 by 6.5. So what I'm going to do then is on the bottom, I'm going to come to the right, and I know that's 8 inches, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of math here. So 8 minus 2.5, and then so it'll be 5.5 to the right. And so I'll go ahead and type in the line, and I can either snap it or just go ahead and type in 0, 0. If you can type it in, you're always better. So 5.5, and I push Enter, and then I take my mouse, point it up 2.5, and then move my mouse to the right 2.5 inches. And it's going on that polar angle there, which is at that 90-degree. All right, so I have that. And so now I essentially need to take 5.5 minus 2.5, which is 3, and that's going to give me that remainder. And so that's what I know here, right? So I'm always working with what information it gives me. So that's 3 inches. Move my mouse up and push Enter. All right, and so if I do all the dimensions, I can confirm I don't really need to measure this. Go ahead and close that off and push Enter. All right, and so I can use this wheel at the top and click on top, and that'll center everything. All right, so before I get too carried away, I'm going to go ahead and dimension everything here, and you essentially just snap it on the corners and then drag your mouse down or over, depending on where it needs to go. All right, and I'm zooming in, scrolling in with my mouse, zooming in and out. All right, so just verifying all my dimensions before I proceed. And so we've got the 2.5, that little square, and that 5 inches. So let's just verify all this. And again, I try to do this in the same manner that our textbook does it. This way, I don't have to dimension it at the end because it's already done. So I'm snapping on the lines, and it's really important that you're snapping on the lines, obviously, and not on the other dimensions. Sometimes that happens if you get weird dimensions. That's probably why. All right, so do that again. Drag it to the right. Sometimes you have to move it a little farther and then bring it back in. So the dimensions look perfect so far. And so there's that 5.5 left. And I do want to verify that. All right. Again, snapping to the corners and then dragging my mouse out. All right, so that looks good. Okay, so I'm going to clean this up a little bit. You don't want the dimensions to actually touch the part. There should always be a gap. Even though you might not see it here, there is a gap. Otherwise, it's hard to figure out what the part is and then what the dimension is, so you want to have that separation. All right, so I've got some circles here, and it looks like it's a 2.5 inch diameter, and it's over 2.5 inches to the X and up. So I'm going to go circle diameter. And so what I'm going to do here is I know that it's over on the X 2.5 inches and it's up 3 inches. So I'll go ahead and type in 2.5, comma, and then I'll type in 3, and I'll push enter. Now I'm reading the command line. It wants to know what the diameter is. So it's bracketed. So what is the diameter? And the diameter is 2.5 inches. So all I need to do is type in 2.5 and then push enter. All right, and I can verify that too. Let's look at this other circle. So this other circle is over 5 inches, and then it's 6.5 minus 1.5 up. So that's going to be 5 inches up and 5 inches over, so on the X and the Y. So again, I'll go circle diameter here, and I'll go ahead and type in 5, 5, enter. And then it wants to know the diameter. This diameter is 1.5 inches, so 1.5. And then I'll press enter. So type in 1.5 and press enter. All right, and so we do want to verify this. So let's go ahead, and you'll notice if I click on the dimension here on the arrow, it says diameter. So all you do is click on the circle and then drag it out, and I'm going to put them both to the right and on the bottom. All right, so I'll do the same, come down, diameter, click on the circle, and then let go. And you want to verify that, so just double check, everything looks good so far. All right, now I have to put these dimensions in. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and use the same dimension and click on the icon. And I'm going to start with the center. So you might need to zoom in. So either start with the center or start with the corner. So there's the corner. And then you can zoom in. Make sure that you're snapping in the center. It's really important. And then I'm dragging my mouse out to the left. And sometimes you just have to go a little farther. Click it and hit escape. And then select it and just drag it back in. All right, so that's 3 inches. And I'll do the same on the bottom. So hit escape to kill the command. All right, so go to the bottom and then the center and click where you want to put it and then hit escape. All right, and I need to do the height of the other circle and the width on the x-axis. All right, so make sure I have the center selected. And we are trying to copy the book as best we can here. So this is our gold standard, so to speak. All right, so many different ways to zoom in and out. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can have a better feel for where I'm putting my dimensions. Sometimes when you have all the other dimension lines, you'll snap onto one of those, and we don't want to do that. Okay, so far, all these dimensions look very good. All right, so I'm going to, on the wheel above, go ahead and click top. That'll center everything. And we've completed the first part of this lesson.